there, everyone. That sexy nerd is back again, and he did Toy Story today, man. Like, oh, one of the most nostalgic movies of my childhood. You know, I love this movie. I don't know if my nephew has actually seen it, and like, I can't wait to show it to my kids. You know, I'm so excited to finally be able to do some stuff like that when it eventually happens. But it's such a fantastic movie. You know, it gave me the thought in my head that toys were actually alive, and like I remember when I was a kid, I actually used to think that the toys would come alive, and I'd be like, man, I swear I put this toy over here, but it's not over there. My toys are alive. Holy shit. But no, yeah, I had a weird childhood, but. But yeah, this movie really sticks a core with you. I think really anybody could watch it and love it. I don't know anybody who would hate it. It's just one of those movies that it's just, anybody could watch it, anybody would love it. Yeah, and even adults. I know people would be like, it's a kids movie, but still, watching it as an adult, you're like nostalgic for the times of when you would play with your toys. And like, I love how this movie's like timeless. You have no idea what time period it could take place in and everything. Could it take place in the 80s, 70s? It's like, it's kind of like a microcosm of stuff. Well, actually, no, that's not true. Not 70s or 80s, maybe 80s, but yeah, because like those cars are way too modern to be 80s. But yeah, it looks more like a 90s movie, more I think about it. It really, but again, it's such a great movie. Woody and Buzz like just became like iconic characters, and all the other side characters became great too. Mr. Potato Head, Slinky, what's her name? Not Mrs. I almost said Mrs. Potts. Bo Peep, all of them. Like just great toys, great characters, and they really stuck with us for a long time. And honestly. These movies kind of grew up with us, like eventually especially when it gets to Toy Story 3. So I'm really excited to go over this movie. I love this, and I really hope he does more Toy Story movies soon. So with that being said, please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And remember to sign up for my Patreon for all my latest reactions to all my latest videos. Now let's do this thing, y'all.
It's the mid-90s. Everything has CG in it, and Hollywood is about to release its first CG animated movie.
That came out before.
There was talk of
after.
doing some prissy shit with toys, but we scrapped that to give you what we know always works.
Kabloom-a-geddon.
This ain't no kids film unless you're a male in that demographic goldmine of 13 to 18. This is extreme, non-stop action. Behold, Agent Hitman. A character
like
who's way too advanced for mid-90s CG, but just go with it.
I'm in the dimly lit lab with reflective surfaces.
Good, that'll be easy for us to render. Now find the disc with the names and/or codes on it to stop the monsters and/or robots from destroying us all.
90s catchphrase.
With his partner, Agent Love Interest, a no-nonsense assassin
What the
with
hell?
awkward anatomy we clearly haven't figured out yet, but our horny fan base won't care.
Try to keep up.
Hey, it's the 90s. I'm not just some pretty face who needs to be saved. I can take care of myself, and I'm hot.
And because we're gonna have a weird fetish for disaster flicks for a while, you can watch our heroes fight aliens with Mother Nature.
Throw the tornadoes!
Zilla.
The volcanoes!
The toy?
The thing from Deep Rising!
What?
Remembers me.
So, if you're ready to see the dinosaurs from
T-Rex.
Jurassic Park and the sharks from Deep Blue Sea fight on the Titanic, then please come right for us. Kabloom-a-geddon.
I want to see
The
that.
first CG animated movie.
I want to see that.
That could have been what we got.
Oh, wow. What?
In 1995, Disney released the first computer-generated animated film, Toy Story. And 30 years later, most mainstream animated films, in one way or another, are still trying to replicate it. The same way for decades Snow White provided the feel and tone for most hand-drawn films, Toy Story laid the groundwork for most CG films. Sure, there's an occasional variant, but most movies try to replicate this style. Snarky humor with a good heart that has modern dialogue with comedy for both kids and adults. Even Shrek, the other film most animated features try to mimic,
Yeah.
you could argue is Toy Story taken to a more self-aware and cynical extreme. But while this is the norm and has been for several years, people forget this was kind of a risky choice. Most CG in movies at the time were used for low-lit action and creepy monsters and natural disasters. The idea of doing a bright and colorful G-rated film about children's toys did not seem like the logical choice.
That's crazy.
Honestly, the trailer for this movie was so bad, I didn't know anyone that was excited to check it out. Literally, the big clenching joke, like the joke you end on in a trailer to get people to see the movie, is the cute little spaceman saying he can fly around the room.
Yeah, that's not funny.
But thankfully, the film itself was very funny.
Yeah, that was weird.
Audiences being nominated for a Best Screenplay Oscar and breaking new ground for animated films. With likable characters, smart humor, and a story everybody can identify with, they knew they didn't have to change the industry, but rather the industry would have to change around them. So what was it about this film that set the stage for the majority of modern-day animated features? Well, let's fall with style and take a look. Because remember what we could have had.
Look out! That Muppet from Spawn!
That was 1997. That was after this. What the hell?
Let's take a look at Toy Story. The credits roll as we see a kid named Andy playing with his favorite toy, Woody the Cowboy.
Come on, let's wrangle up the cattle. I'm here to stop you, one-eyed Bart.
When you reach that age and realize Sid would have been the cooler kid to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah, remind me, which one's the toy again?
Just remember what your old past said.
Boy, you got a friend in me.
And yeah, you think I'm crazy enough to make fun of Randy Newman, what many consider his most heartwarming dedication to childhood innocence?
Yes, you would.
You bet I am. Why is he
Yeah,
always
of
sound
course.
drunk? You got a friend in me. Okay, real talk. I don't see Randy Newman as one of the worst songwriters. There's actually some songs of his I enjoy. One of them even in this film. He's
Yeah, but it's
just
the other one.
aggressively generic, and I never got into the voice. Is that really so surprising to hear someone say? You like him, fair enough, but to me, he always sounds like the happy, happy joy singer on Valium.
Some other
I always thought he
folks might
was.
be a little bit smarter than I am. If and you ain't the granddaddy of all liars.
I thought that was
Favorite
him.
toy, who I'm only now noticing leaves his mouth open in
For the
intro.
longest time, I did.
He's coming to grips with his existence like,
World is
but as soon as
Oh.
Andy leaves the room, Woody, played by Tom Hanks, and all his other toys come to life.
Staff meeting, everybody. Got a staff meeting, you guys. Come on, let's go.
It is fun comparing the technology back then and how mind-blowing it was to modern-day animated films. Don't get me wrong, for the first film, this looks very, very good, and it's very
It does.
smart to choose toys as the main characters, as that's very CG-friendly.
There are some stiff
Not only do the
moments.
humans
Yeah.
look weird like we discussed before, but man, some of those pixely backgrounds are a little distracting nowadays.
Really?
These surfaces look like Doom half the time. He is the
That's
ringleader
funny.
of the toys and even has a girlfriend named Bo Peep, played by Annie Potts, who again gets some weird faces out of him.
I'm just a couple of blocks away.
Yeah, I guess.
If a grown man
Sure.
comes to a kid's birthday party with any of these faces, don't let him in.
Yeah, that's a pedo face. To be fair, the only stranger danger, the only thing we ever got, like, you know, with pedophiles was like stranger danger and don't get in the van. Now we can identify them with those weird ass looks. So, yeah, we didn't know that back then.
Look, I'm Picasso.
I don't get it.
You can easily see the Pixar formula getting set up, introducing characters through a slice of life scenario, utilizing comedy and puns, eventually leading to a relatable social problem both kids and adults can relate to. I don't think it's a coincidence this was done at the height of Seinfeld's popularity. As a lot
Really?
of comedic dialogue has a lot of Seinfeld snark. It's very easy to see these attitudes from the leads on that show.
It's just a mistake.
Well, that mistake is sitting in your spot.
Well, that mistake is sitting in your spot.
This is no time to panic. This is the perfect time to panic.
This is a perfect time to panic!
I found my moving buddy.
I found mine.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
I have guilt.
Oh, great. Now I have guilt. But I won't say from what. That was a long time ago. Let's keep going.
Clark, have you seen Stinky? Sir, no, sir.
Woody has a fair amount of friends like Rex, voiced by Wallace Shawn.
How you doing, Rex?
Were you scared?
I Tell was me close honestly.
to being scared.
Wait until I tell Andre. Slink,
What?
played by Jim Varney.
I got some bad news.
Bad news?
I just found out we're gonna do this till we're 80. As well as Ham and Potato
Are they
Head,
already?
voiced by John Ratzenberger and Don Rickles.
G6.
Oh, you
Sunk it!
Pay up. No, not the ear. Give me the nose. Come on.
Feel lucky we're not wagering your tots again. They're all concerned because Andy is having a birthday party, which might mean new toys are going to replace him. I mean, come on, if he holds on to one of the first things Pixar ever animated, I think you're all safe.
Yeah.
Establish a recon post downstairs. Code red.
Yes, sir.
Little green soldiers are sent to spy on the party, and as you may have noticed, not every line is a home run.
Come on, they're not lying down on the job.
Huh? Well, I thought it was
Cool, though.
funny.
That's Arlie Ermy as the sergeant. He'll make the dialogue more colorful.
Holy dog shit, Texas only steers it.
So Andy opens his last present and heads upstairs.
Andy's coming, everybody! Back to your places, hurry!
And remember, if anybody says Andy's coming at Disneyland, then you know what? Don't do that. It's gonna get old really quick. Andy gets a toy based around his favorite movie. Yeah, still not buying that. Called Buzz Lightyear, played by Tim Allen.
Star Command, come in. Do
Is
you
that
read?
what that was?
Why don't they answer?
While everyone's great in this movie, we're used to seeing these types of performances from most of these actors. Tim Allen is really doing something different from his usual norm. He mainly plays the egotistical handy doofus with a heart of gold. Hell, even when he played another spaceman, he was still playing this type of role.
Yeah, that's true.
But he really knocks it out of the park as a space ranger who actually thinks he's saving the universe and has no idea he's just a toy. I never doubt for a second the galaxy of aliens and rangers he's saving is always going on in his head.
I know, seriously, it's kind of weird that Tim Allen was the best actor in this movie. Because it was weird. I actually used to watch Home Improvement with my grandmother, like just a couple of times, but yeah, I saw him and then everybody was like, that's gonna be Buzz Lightyear. And I'm like, nah. And I'm like 4 or 5 years old, I couldn't believe it.
Buzz Lightyear mission log, stardate 4072. My ship is run off course en route to Sector 12.
This conflict of cowboys versus spacemen suggests him in the 50s or 60s, despite this apparently taking place in the 90s.
Well, in a couple of days, everything will be just the way it was. They'll see. I'm still Andy's favorite toy.
Woody grows jealous of Buzz being Andy's new favorite as more and more the world around
Things
him transforms into
happening to
Buzz.
me.
Your chief, Andy, inscribed his name on me.
Wow, with permanent ink.
He branded me with one of his dad's cigarettes.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you know, I always was weirded out, like he couldn't figure out that he was a toy, because why does he freeze whenever he's around? Why does he act like a toy and become straight? Why doesn't he just question him whenever he grabs him? But again, if you think about this movie too much, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
We're introduced to the antagonist of the movie, a next-door neighbor named Sid. Everybody either knew growing up or was growing up.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's a combat Carl.
He's a kid who loves blowing up toys so much, there's little to no grass left in his backyard.
I know, right? That's
He's a soldier
hilarious.
strapped to an explosive device.
Sid.
Sure is a hairy fella.
No, that's Scud, you idiot.
Are you sure? Dogs and humans don't look that different in this world. I love it when villains in Pixar movies are just kids doing what they do.
Yeah.
Because they're so naturally violent little messed up shits when you think about it.
The sooner we move, the better.
They're taking the death of that toy pretty well. Maybe they were like, he knew what he was getting into when he applied for ages 4 and up.
Also, why wouldn't they be taking it well? I'm sure they've, like, you just said that the ground was so bad that that he's blown up so many toys, there's no more grass in his yard. So, wouldn't that stand the reason they would be used to that right now? They'd still feel bad, but they'll be like, it's just another freaking show. It's like executions. Sometimes you feel bad, sometimes you're like, he's just hanging out.
Joke I still don't know is clever, lame, or ahead of its time.
True in reality.
Trap Buzz in a corner when
That's
Andy's
funny.
told he can only pick one toy to take to Pizza Planet. The trap backfires, though, and knocks him out of the house via Lucas homage, even down to the Wilhelm scream. Maybe it's one of his buttons, I don't know. That's one of my favorite lines in the movie.
This was no accident.
What do you mean?
I mean, Humpty Dumpty was put.
I love the robot.
God, that's funny. And my introduction to the A113 in joke. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I look for this in every animated film now.
Oh,
Buzz sneaks aboard to get his payback.
Revenge is not an idea we promote on my planet.
Well, that's good.
But we're not on my planet. Are we?
No.
This is when I was like, okay, this style needs to stay because most of 1995 Disney would have stopped at the first half of that line.
Yeah, that's funny.
But they were like, screw it, we want to be funny, and they convinced Disney to leave it in.
Yeah, and it's like, honestly, I feel like they were able to go along with this scene, being as violent as it is, well, violent for Disney, because they're toys. Like, who cares, right?
Okay, I know it's not the same level as Ryan Reynolds convincing Kevin Feige, but it's still pretty cool.
Oh, the lost toy.
Buzz fights Woody, causing them to fall out of the car. Woody realizes if he's gonna find a way home, he has to bring Buzz, because without him, he won't be allowed back.
Now, you're sure this space freighter will return to its port of origin once it jettisons its food supply?
I should say, while the CG cartoon style was certainly being experimented with, the only two that really felt like they understood the importance of facial expressions was this and Casper. And okay, well, I didn't personally get into that movie that much. It was the first time people saw CGI could have just as big a range of facial reactions as hand-drawn animation. These little smirks and eye rolls and split-second ticks not only make the scenes a lot funnier, but they make the characters feel much more alive. At a time when this just wasn't being utilized, at least not to this degree.
Come on, man, hurry up.
great.
Like the pizzas are getting cold here.
Oh, sweet, a Buzz Lightyear doll, and it's alive! God, I'm stoned. They make their way to Pizza Planet, which I'll just say I'm a 43-year-old man and I
still want to go there.
To exist.
Yep.
I mean, that's Alien the kindergarten game. But Buzz sneaks into a crane machine where he encounters even more oddities.
A stranger from the outside.
Greetings. I am Buzz Lightyear.
Well, technically you should all know each other from the show. But
Yeah, right?
then again, Buzz is Zurg now, so who gives a shit about anything?
What? Oh, I've never even seen that
Claus, our
movie.
master,
Stop spoiling
chooses
it.
Who will go and who will stay.
It's ludicrous.
Sid tries his luck at the game, and maybe the biggest hole of the film, someone actually gets a toy from a crane machine. Twice!
Yeah, bull.
Has been chosen.
What are you doing? Stop against zealots!
I kind of like the toy version of Midsummer.
Yeah, right?
Sid gets Buzz and Woody, who of course has terrible plans for them.
Let's go home and play.
I love how he
This is
blinks.
Syndrome's backstory in reverse.
Yeah.
At home, we see he's just as cruel to his sister's toys as he is to his own.
Genie's all better now.
I don't know what her problem is. I give Sid all my toys to have him improved. I'm not even kidding. The designs of Sid's
the girl.
Ultra toys are some of the most imaginative creations in any Pixar film.
I know they probably consulted like some kid who actually does that stuff with his toys. Somebody was like, I see potential in you.
Even his room is filled with all sorts of hilarious little touches, like all the locks on the door, this bumper sticker, and I don't know what Killin' Paul Bunyan is, but if he has a poster of it, I'm into it.
Kill him, Paul
Come in, Buzz
Bunyan.
Lightyear. This
This is
is
Star Command.
The next day, they try to escape, but Buzz sees a commercial clarifying he is, in fact, a toy.
Wow, he'd never seen that the whole time.
Al's Toy Bound Outlets and the Tri-County
You know, I'm sorry. I wanted to say too, did you guys ever notice that there's a freaking tool just there on the TV? Because it's been used so many times that they just left it on there. I don't know how it's still sticking on there, but I always thought that was hilarious.
I could say that's more proof of the Seinfeld influence as they're building up Wayne Knight's appearance, but honestly, I'm distracted by the TV's channel changer.
Yeah!
What's the story behind this family?
Oh, that's so
Starts
funny.
the one song I do genuinely enjoy, I'll Go Sailing No More.
Yeah, this is a good
It's just the
song.
right tone, it's sad, it has a decent melody. It's a song so good, even Randy's voice can't ruin it.
Now I know exactly
who I am. And
But God, does he try? He sounds like Will Sasso's impression of him.
I still haven't seen A Bug's Life or Toy Story, but I don't need to. You know, writing songs is easy.
Buzz tries to prove to himself he can fly, but goes boom, leading to Sid's sister discovering him.
Mom, have you seen my Sally doll? Never mind.
Now I can torture his toys. Actually, not too far off is Woody sees the sister playing with Buzz and tries to get him out.
Hannah! Oh, Hannah!
Mom? Please excuse me, ladies.
I have to check on my mom. I think she's dying.
Oh, Hannah! Gone! Oh, God.
Buzz finally cracks having tea with the sister's dolls. I like one of the beheaded ones is called Marie Antoinette. And am I crazy or is this some of the funniest acting Tim Allen's ever done.
It's funny.
Let's get you out of here, bud.
Don't you get it?
You see the hat?
I am Mrs. Nesbit.
I'm telling you, this kid is weird. She's talking about monsters in her closet when she was younger. She's all messed up. Woody reaches his friends, but they don't know whether or not to trust him after what he did to Buzz. Buzz as well is not much help.
Hiya, fellas.
What are you trying to pull?
Nothing.
Public domain Jagged Edge will make a horror film out of this.
Whoa.
Everyone abandons Woody. It's a
surprised they
little
haven't.
funny Slink is the last one to leave, even after his supposed true love does.
Yeah, I
Instead
know.
straps Buzz to a rocket,
Never said
planning
true
to
love.
launch him in the morning. Andy, meanwhile, is heartbroken. He's unable to find Woody or Buzz before they move away.
Oh,
It was mostly Buzz.
if only you could see how much Andy misses you.
That'd be nice! Let me in!
Woody finally confesses his jealousy over Buzz. I mean, the dude is getting better in-jokes than him. And Buzz starts to realize just because he's a toy doesn't mean he can't save the day for someone special.
Yeah.
I'm the one that should be strapped to that rocket. Buzz!
Come on, Sheriff.
Let's get this thing off of me and onto you. Woody is set free, but Buzz is taken to be launched.
Yeah.
Once Woody discovers the toys in Sid's room wants to help,
nice.
he utilizes them to get back at Sid.
I love these guys.
Busted.
Who are you calling busted, Buster? I'm talking to you, Sid.
I love this
The
scene.
scene is basically as funny as you would think.
Yeah, it's great,
They
honestly.
finally put together how scary Woody's face can be.
We don't like being blown up.
Sid.
My name is Doggy Tina, and I'm going to
kill you. Yeah.
And Sid is suddenly terrified of every toy he sees.
What's wrong, Sid? Do you want to play with Sally?
I hope Toy Story 5 is about his exposure therapy. They try to follow the moving van with
That's
Andy's
funny.
family on it, but Sid's dog sees them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for as bad as the people look in this, the animals look 10 times worse.
Yeah.
My
the
God,
dog.
that looks like a whale banged a cow. He's the kind of thing you show Food Fight to make it feel better about itself.
He's at it again!
They mistake him throwing the racer into the street, though, for him trying to kill more toys.
No, wait, you don't understand!
And boy, for a character who said,
If only you could see how much Andy misses you.
she sure is doing little to reunite you two. Yeah, they didn't know what to do with this character.
Yeah, I know. She literally was saying nothing.
They eventually figure out he was trying to help, though, and they try to get him back on.
What a wonderful phrase.
Of course, a Randy Newman musical would have Hakuna Matata in it.
Hey.
They eventually make it to the car with Andy in it, and they're all reunited. Cut ahead to Christmas time as the toys once again are seeing if any of the new toys might possibly replace them. And I gotta say, for as great as this movie is, this last joke is a little weak.
Wow, a puppy!
What are you talking about? I thought that was funny. Fuck
Don't
off.
worry, we're actually gonna try on this one. And that was Toy Story, the animated film that changed animated films. Is there some stuff that doesn't hold up as well? A few little things, but for the most part, it's as timeless as it is influential. These characters are easy to like and relate to, and it thrives on being a simple story with strong writing. The majority of jokes still land, the world it creates is fun to explore, and like I said over and over, it set the stage not just for how Pixar films would be constructed, but for how the majority of animated films would be constructed. On the one hand, yes, I would like more variety in the styles of cinematic animation, but let's face it, most cinema leans towards what's popular and will usually do something over and over. I think I'd much rather see this style be popular and done over and over than, say, Bay's Transformer movies or the Twilight films or some fad like that.
Ugh.
This is a decent reference to keep returning to. If only we could, stop literally returning to it.
I know, right?
Whatever's in the cards for
Story
Pixar,
5.
Disney, or animation as a whole, it's good to know the industry can still be shaken up in both the biggest, yet somehow simplest ways, too.
Such a good movie.
I'm a nostalgia critic guy, remember? So you don't have to.
What about them blowing up stuff with 90s
I am
cheese?
Mrs. Nesbit.
What can I say? Just a great all-around movie. Yeah, honestly, these movies ended after 3. I don't understand why they had to keep going. I've never even seen Toy Story 4, and I don't think I'm going to see Toy Story 5. I mean, what other issue can you tackle that'll actually get me interested into this movie. Is the girl going to give them away now? Like, are we going to care? Yeah, where are they now? I don't know. I've never even seen it. Let me know what you guys think of this movie, and let me know what you thought of the sequels. And remember, please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy yet nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And remember, sign up for my Patreon for all my latest reactions to all my latest videos. And I'll see you on the next episode.